Last night, this slide may not be in focus. For those of you who weren't, it probably is. So you know who you are. Let me begin just with a project overview. I've got 20 minutes here budgeted for that, and I won't need that much time. First, I want to outline the whole team. I mean, you guys pretty much know who you are. We've got support from Picker Technology, Private Industry, Michigan State, Oregon State University, WSU. We also have UC Davis. Our advisory committee is comprised of the folks you see here. We've got representation from California, Oregon, and Washington. A couple of folks who aren't here might just point out. I haven't seen Bill Howell this morning, but you saw him yesterday. He's with the nursery industry. I haven't seen Gwen this morning either. She was here yesterday. Jeff Colombini is a grower, California.
Harvesting walnuts.
Harvesting walnuts.
Yeah, because of the rain, they got delayed.
Yep. Very prominent in research activities, research boards as well. Travis Allen, you met yesterday, and Stephen Agidius also. And I think the others are here today. Okay, this was, I just pinched this right out of the proposal, that sort of summary graphic at the outset. And I think this is one of the strengths that our team was putting forward here. And that is that integration. And there's other ways you could represent that, of course. And actually the first iteration of this concept that I tried to illustrate had arrows going from each one, and each one it just looked like a rat's nest. So try to simplify that a bit, but just to show the integration of the various components, from the breeding and genetics and genomics through to the production systems, harvest technology developments, engineering, packaging, storing, marketing, and at the end of the day, economic benefits analysis too. So we had in the proposal 6 distinct objectives. It's a bit light, but we're going to be running through each of these today, hearing from the PIs and the team that's responsible for each of these objectives. And they include the fruiting walls, we're talking about genetic bases for precision, genomics, and also breeding for characteristics of precision and fruit quality, labor efficiencies, mechanical assist technologies, and so forth. When I sent out that file, that project management plan, I'm not sure whether or not that Gantt chart came through. It didn't really come through on mine. Did anybody see that? I wanted to put it in because actually it took a bit of time to craft, and it has some nice colors and all that stuff. But this is part of the project management plan that I submitted. And it really outlines, I hope it's consistent with your thinking too. And I'll try and reformat that and send it out so you'll have this for your files. But it just really outlines each objective, objective 1, 2, 3 to 6, and the sub-objectives and sort of a timeline for each of those. So, you know, some of the objectives are going to be year 1 to year 4. Others, when we're talking about harvest technologies, it's going to be front-loaded a bit.
Laser one?
Sorry? Is that a laser pointer?
Yeah.
Want to advance the slides? Okay. Yep. Right. And the last point that I want to make before we get started is that I think another strength of the program is the fact that we had clear, obvious, and strong stakeholder input from the genesis of the program, from its outset. In addition, this is a feature of the program as we move forward. And again, I've probably stressed it enough yesterday how important it is to hear from growers from the advisory committee today to make sure that we're on target with our objectives. So these were a couple of charts I pulled out of the proposal also that were included in there to indicate that the objectives that we put forth were very closely aligned with the information that industry and throughout that whole production and marketing chain, very closely aligned with the needs, the information that was necessary to move forward with this kind of a system. So, for example, these are data from a meeting that we had at Prosser several months ago, actually just about 3 weeks before the deadline. We put together these summary statistics for the proposal. So the importance of consumer acceptance of stem-free cherries to system adoption. Asked the group of growers. There were about 25 growers there from the region. Very important was the dominant response. So very important combined is about 90% of the growers said we really have to have these markets. So that's why We're working with Dawn, and we've got BJ, and we're going to be doing test marketing and consumer preference studies and all those things. Okay, another question here. How important is a tree training or a management system to the adoption of STEM tree production processing and marketing system? Again, extremely important. So people want to know that we plant trees, we know how to prune them, we know how to train them. We feel comfortable with doing that before adopting this entire systems. So, again, the bottom line here is that we don't go very far, or we won't be very effective if we don't maintain that connection with the stakeholder input. Here's what we're doing today. We're going to start with Amit Dhingra talking about genomics, physiognomics, moving through to breeding and genetics, orchard systems I'll describe briefly. Again, keep the presentation short, conversation longer. We've got a break. Hear from the rest of the research and outreach team. We're going to have a lunch at noon, which will be here. We'll be bringing in some sandwiches for lunch. Those members of the advisory committee that are here, and I would also suggest that those growers who are here who may not be on the advisory committee are encouraged to participate in a working lunch, in which what we're asking you to do there is sort of summarize and synthesize your thoughts and observations from the morning. So when we come back from lunch, we really want to hear some feedback from you in maybe specific terms, like you didn't think this particular objective was on, or some broader stroke terms and guidance on the direction of the whole program. And then we're going to finish up by talking about project management, project governance, coordination, reporting, and how we move forward and stay connected. One item that isn't up here, we're going to include that when it becomes a possibility, is a short discussion on project budget management administration. This is a massive project. We've got 4 subcontractors. We've got 6 PIs, I think it is, within Washington State University alone. And there's going to be some questions, I think, about how do we handle this animal. And so we've got Mary Lou Bricker, who's in the Dean's office, who's going to be, I suspect she's on her way over now. She's would be glad to come down and stand up here for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever it takes to answer the questions that you may have about how this is going to be administered. Okay, so then our first speaker this morning, and we're right on time now, is Amit Dhingra. Are there any questions about what we're doing today, or why we're here, or from the outset, or what's going on? It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? You've got your